there early. Sometimes it's good to be early. But our show starts at a specific time. You should remember that. Let's get started then, shall we?
Dillon, I don't give a what you think about a co-host and freshen up my show.
It might not be flashy, but sometimes you just got to toss another person to make a statement.
My show's about the people's podcast. Everyone has a voice. I don't need a co-host. Go listen to one of the other 5,000 shows with a co-host because they don't have a mouth like the big guy.
Opie, are you a career killer with Tim Sabian, yourself, and many others?
Be myself. Never had real issues with those people. They just understood that I was a different bird. The rest of them, though, I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm paying your salary because the ratings are so good, so shut up.
Right.
Live from
Somewhere.
it's
Dillon.
Good whatever to you whenever you are watching this episode of Co-Host Auditions. I am your co-host, Dillon. Today's host is a Las Vegas local. His name is Jacob, and he is Life in Vegas. Nope, no last name. Jacob, no last name, Life in Vegas. That is his YouTube channel. So coming here with a few tips for some of those people that are heading out to Hackamania and Las Vegas. He doesn't mention the Pinball Museum. Well, maybe he does. I chose two videos that I think would be very appropriate for the Hackamania audience. Jacob tells us how to avoid scams from prostitutes and strippers. So, without further ado, let's get right into Jacob and his tips for prostitutes and strippers. What is the first tip you have for us there as we see New York, Excalibur, and the MGM Grand? The Pinball Museum used to be down a few miles on Tropicana, down from the MGM Grand. I hear it's now on the Strip, and they have got a fantastic facility. Boy, am I an autist. We are in Vegas, and I have mentioned pinball about 8 times and gambling here just once to mention I haven't mentioned gambling.
Many tourists understand that prostitution is legal in Nevada. What many tourists do not understand is that prostitution is not legal through all parts of Nevada. Now,
I do know this law. If some place is too populated, then prostitution is not legal. Therefore, the largest city in all of Nevada, Las Vegas, prostitution is not legal.
here in the state of Nevada, we have 16 counties. In 10 of those counties, there is legalized prostitution.
Okay, we have got a nice little graph here about brothels banned in all the red counties, legal but no brothels in. So there we are, right in the middle, and the northeastern county is where you want to go for the actual Bunny Ranch experience. Very much like Eric the Midget, Eric the actor, who was against getting a professional. He wanted it for love. Until he got it that first time. Then he was addicted to the Bunny Ranch. So I'm not exactly sure which of these counties. Actually, I don't know where Vegas is exactly. Are you in Douglas here? Because you're not too far over the line from Los Angeles. I made that trip a few times. You need to know what time of day to go to make that trip, because sometimes it is a pain in the ass.
However, within those counties, the prostitution is regulated, and it can only legally take place inside of a brothel. Nevada law says that any county that has a population of more than 700,000 people cannot have legalized prostitution. Clark County, where Las Vegas is, where the Strip is right here, has over 2 million people, which means it is not legal here in Clark County. However,
but you do not need to go far to actually find a hooker. What you need to do is just wander around the hotel lobby looking like a rube, and they will find you. That's how I found mine when I was like, ugh, I don't feel like doing anything today. I'm too hungover. And that was number 2. I did get into my Vegas hookery stories recently. Maybe I should tell them at some point during this episode. We'll find some lead in for those 2 stories.
However, escorting, which is simply charging someone for their company, is perfectly legal, is 100% legal here in Clark County, regardless of how much or how little clothing the person is wearing. Now, in case any of you are wondering what happens if you are arrested here in Las Vegas for engaging in prostitution, let me tell you. If you are arrested as a first-time offender for engaging in prostitution here in Las Vegas, you're
up to 6 months in jail. The $1,000 fine, I believe, up to 6 months in jail. I think the judge just hates you.
going to be facing a misdemeanor charge, which could be up to 6 months in jail or simply a $1,000 fine. In addition to that, you will pay a $400 fine plus a $200 civil penalty. However, a first-time offense can often...
And I already paid $200 for the hour. Now I got to pay $200 to the state? Oh, that's unfair.
...get dismissed and be removed from your record if you pay a fine, do community service, or go to an AIDS awareness class, often called John School. Okay, now...
John School, very appropriate. John's, you go to the John School. Not to be confused with John the Toilet, John the hooker aficionado.
Now let's talk about how you can get scammed or ripped off engaging in prostitution. Whether you're just out and about by yourself walking the strip, whether you are out in a public place with a prostitute, or if you're actually back at the hotel room. Now, the first way can happen to anyone, even if you're not out here trying to solicit. And this is pretty much everyday thievery that takes place here in Las Vegas and, cities across the world. This is where you might be walking on the strip by yourself with a group. You talk to a group of prostitutes. They come, engage in conversation.
Well, they say they come, but come on, let's be honest. They're just making you feel nice.
Usually be a group of them, 2, 3, or more. They'll talk with you. They'll chat with you. Oftentimes show you some affection as well to try to grab your attention. While one of them takes your phone, takes your wallet, or something like that, particularly out of your back pocket, and then hands it off to another one who's walking around behind them. They hand off to someone.
A standard pickpocketing trick. Hey, Trick's doing a pickpocket trick. Double trick happening there. Titties up here. Meanwhile, the one with the smaller chest will go around the back. Maybe she has the smaller boobie. You do the watch hypnotize trick with either the jiggly boobies or the badonkadonk. Once one fails, the other one comes in with the other big body part to hypnotize you, while the one with the less prominent features goes around, and she is the sneakiest of all. That is why she does not have the big old hypnotizing knockers or badonkadonk, but she still does a good job.
Someone else, so that if you do know,
both in the bedroom and rolling.
Notice it, they both show their hands. They say, hey, I don't have it. I don't know what you're talking about. But by that time, they've already handed off to someone else, and they're often walking away with your property. The second way you get ripped off is if you are out in public together at a bar.
2 swings and a miss. Not quite Monday, not quite Wednesday. Burnt wine and Spurg Snake are just a little bit outside. I actually did almost go live on my Wednesday stream instead of here my Tuesday stream. So I've got to be sure that I'm picking the right StreamYard room when I am streaming like this, because I almost went live talking about Vegas hookers in the St. Cloud divorce show, which is tomorrow. It is popular picking on the Imholtz. And I got to be honest, Aaron really took the fun out of poking fun at his divorce by announcing his divorce. He was supposed to be in denial several more months before he actually accepted that the divorce was happening. I am very disappointed. You took the wind out of my sails by stopping being in denial, Mr. Imholt.
Bar, a restaurant, a club, or something like that, and they decide to...
I do like Luigi Greenberg announcing when he comes in. Last time it was glory holes that you came in on. This time it is jiggly boobies. And what's really funny, at work, I said a fuck or a shit or something, and one of the coworkers was like, oh my God, I've never heard you say a bad word. I'm like, really? I have a filthy mouth. Apparently you have not been watching my live streams to see how filthy my mouth is.
Drug your drink. I've actually seen the aftermath of this specific scenario.
That's fascinating.
Fair use, buddy.
Whoops. I wasn't supposed to go there. I got a little click happy there because I just found that very fascinating. The reverse roofie.
Now, guys, there are no guarantees.
Not roofieing a lady, but roofieing a John in order to take his wallet. So, nice turnabout. Fair play, hooker lady.
One guy by himself with 3 women he just met on the strip came into the strip club where I was working at. The four of them sat down at one table, and surprisingly, one of the strippers actually joined them. Now, I say surprisingly because generally strippers hate when you bring women that you just met out on the strip to the club. Because at the club, the women who work...
That's competition. You brought sand to the beach, and the sand on the beach doesn't like the sand from different locations.
They're already competing with each other to try to make money. So when you bring in outside competition, you make their job even harder than it already is. Because the women you just brought with you that you just met on the strip, they're going to be trying to get money out of you. So if they're going to be trying to get money out of you, the women who work there at the club are...
Hey, look, Carrot Top's performing. Is that Excalibur that he's performing at?
going to have a harder time getting...
Actually, Carrot Top has been on the Vegas shows. Oh, I was doing so well. Going back and starting to cut clips for this episode, for different episodes, for smaller clips, I've noticed, I thought my and stuff had gone away, but oh no, they're still there.
I'm getting money out of you because the women you brought are going to be very defensive. Long story short, after they are there at the club for some time, I am over by the front door in the entryway area, and one of the senior hosts I see has to carry this guy to the front door. The guy is almost dead weight. I mean, he looked worse than if he were just drunk. So the host had to carry the guy because come to find out...
Oh, is this still the roofie story of them dropping a roofie and instead of inserting stuff into... Like, that's the two differences between men roofing, assault is going to happen, and women roofing, robbery is going to happen. Just like those two Mexican midget wrestlers who were roofied by hookers and they robbed them, but being that they drugged midgets instead of fully formed humans, that sounds... really bad, doesn't it? Sorry, midgets. I'm not allowed to call you midgets anymore, am I? But they killed them because they dosed the little people wrong. Thank you, Luigi Greenberg, for holding back on the ropey loads with Lucy Tightbox in studio for the Greg the Bunny conversation. Keeping it very... so many ums here. I was doing so well there for a while. And now I'm just going down the dysphoria vortex. That's what our good friend T.S. Luna went down, right? A dysphoria vortex? Dysphoria vortex. Well, mark it right here. 12 minutes into the show, and that's when I got tongue-tied. Boy, I stink at this. I'm never going to be a professional like Aaron Imholt. I know Aaron Imholt is a professional because he tells me so. But it was proper to keep your ropey loads inside the ropey load gun, because here is a great place to shoot them off in front of some hookers. And really, some people, they don't like to shoot their ropey loads for the hookers because that's the easy one. They want to get out that's an old joke of a guy getting a prostitute, and that'll be $100. Joke's so old, it was $100 for the hour. And he starts jerking off. What are you doing? For $100, you're not getting the easy one.
The three women he came with not only drugged him in their drink, they also drugged the stripper that was at their table as well. Now, I don't know if they actually did rob the guy. The upper management took the case from there. They handled the whole thing. But the only reason they're going to drug you like that is to simply rob you. That situation already ended badly for that guy. But fortunately, he was in a place where there were employees and there were staff to actually look out for him. If that happens to you and there's no one around...
Oh, the strippers were so pissed at upper management. They were running a scam. How dare you end our scam? We were getting rid of that competition, and we were getting the tips that we rightfully deserve for being non-sexual whores, and you took it away from us, management. How dare you?
To look out for you, you put yourself in far more danger.
Oh, actually, this belongs in the second video of the dangers of strippers, because that is the second video today, but I guess throwing a little bit of... You've got some prostitute in my stripper. You've got some stripper in my prostitute. They kind of go hand in hand.
The final 3 points we're going to talk about all involve you actually making it back to the room. Now, we're going to go over the best case scenario. We're going to go over a worst case scenario. And we're going to go over the worst case scenario. And all of these assume...
Seems like a good little lead-in for me to tell you my Vegas hooker story. I told this recently, but it's a good episode to tell it again because we're talking about Vegas hookers. So Actually, I think I might have only told it over on the Gearbox show. I don't think I told it here, where I met a lady at the Rebar. It is both an antique shop and a bar. At the end of Antique Alley, you go to Rebar, where all the crazy shit on the walls are for sale. The mug your drink comes in is for sale. The chair you're sitting in, for sale. So fun little spot. They had an electric violinist doing some cover songs while I was there. But anyways, I met this Vegas basic white bitch, and we really hit it off. She even had a basic white girl name of Sabrina. She had fishnets and got her zipper stuck in her fishnets. I helped get it out, and we split a pizza. Oh my goodness, we had such a great time together. And for some reason, I think she was busy. Couldn't go back to her place that night, but I was like, all right, I have got this all lined up. I am going to meet Sabrina here tomorrow. And she was really into it. She was like, I'll meet you here tomorrow after work. And a little too into it. Like I get off, I have a break at 3 p.m. You can meet me here. And like, oh, wow, she is really into me. She wants to meet me on her break. And then after she's done right here. So come back to Rebar the next night to meet Sabrina and get my rocks off. And she doesn't recognize me. She was in a complete blackout. And we had some of the same exact conversations that we had the night before, giving it the test. You know, it was kind of I was expecting easy mode, like, all right, we hit it off. We're going to go bang back at your place. But she did not remember me at all. Kind of still on easy mode, getting some of the same conversations to hit it off very well. And then a gaggle of dicks started forming around her. Some had been working that for a while. They went to another place. I decided, I do not want to compete with this gaggle of dicks. They might drug me like these other people. So anyways, on the way back to my hotel, a hooker said, hey, you want a good time? And I was like, yes, I do. I was ready for some sex with a lady. So let's go ahead and spend some money on that sex with a lady. The second time was the one I kind of mentioned earlier. I was tired, went down to the hotel lobby, and there was a hooker who just came up to me for looking like a rube. I was like, well, broke the seal. Might as well get a second one. So those are my two Vegas hooker stories.
Assume that you are staying at one of the major properties here on the Strip. In this third scenario, you've already talked to her, you've already agreed to a certain amount, and you've agreed to go ahead and go back to your room. Now, maybe you're going to get what you bargained for, but if you are going to get robbed, your best case scenario, if you're going to get robbed in this.
And the one I did meet at my hotel did try to jack her price up after she jacked me up and off, rather. I was going for some wordplay, kind of failed there. And it was like, no. We agreed on $200 for the hour. No $220 for the hour. No. You even ate some of my chicken wings. You got a little tip.
Is that she tries,
I guess you got two little tips.
to create some
one little tip and a nice medium-ish size tip.
way to just take your wallet and run out of the room. Whether that's actually drugging you, like in the example earlier, or whether that's you go to the bathroom real quickly and she grabs your wallet and runs.
Yes, very nice. You look better than one of the two hookers that I got in Vegas. You a nice collagened up lips there you have.
Out of the room. Anything along those lines where she tries to create a distraction is her trying to create an opportunity to just take your stuff and run. Say she runs out of there and you actually notice it right away, and she runs out down the hallway and you go run and you catch her.
Pardon me, madam. Do you sell sex with a lady services? And you don't need to ask. They will find you.
You're still probably screwed.
They will let you know.
Because that's going to create a big scene in the casino. That's going to create a big scene in the hotel room areas. She's probably going to be screaming, making a scene. Other guests may come out of their rooms or just call security. When they show up, they're going to want to know what happened for their own incident report. And because they're going to want to know what happened, they're going to file a report on it. They could possibly wind up getting the police involved. These major casinos here in Las Vegas oftentimes have police on property.
Your sound quality is getting weird when you go into that tunnel. The acoustics are all off. Either be in the tunnel the whole time or none of the time. But I see what you're doing. You're doing a walk and talk like so many people do on their live streams. I actually did see a pimp get arrested on the Strip where he was getting quite aggressive with his hooker. And the whole time he was just like, I'll be out tomorrow. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be out tomorrow.
24/7, they have police on property. So if they need someone, they can have them come and handle a situation like this.
That's what I paid for, to have someone come. Me.
That's why I say this is probably the best case scenario, that all you lost were your credit cards, you lost your cash, you lost your ID, you lost your wallet, but all of those things can be replaced. The fourth situation we're going to be talking about right now is definitely the
Your kidney can't be replaced.
worst case scenario to be in. This is where, again, you make it back to your hotel room, but she texts
Ooh, very proper to be behind the Luxor pecker while talking about hooker services.
somebody
Yes, we're still on the hooker video.
the room number you're in. So this could be her pimp, this could be several guys, and they wind up coming up to your room and you are not ready for it. In a scenario like this, understand
Several guys coming in my room. Oh no, I didn't pay for a bukkake. I paid for lady parts.
that she may even make this a condition in order for the deal to go down and happen. She might say, well, hey, I'm going to go back to your room unless you tell me what room number you're in so that I can let my friends.
And look, we've got a regular old penis and a chody penis behind you. Very good in what you chose as your background while talking about hookers.
My girlfriend or whoever know that I am safe.
I said that like Chippa, didn't I? While talking about the hookers.
Now, just think about this when you get to the room. If she doesn't say that, but you go to the room anyway, she's obviously going to be looking for the room number so that she can text that out to other people. So she can text it out to someone and let them know. Now, what you're going to have to look out for is if she's
Not the gangbang I was looking for. I was thinking of your friends coming over being ladies, not a man with brass knuckles. Son of a bitch, you tricked me, you hooker.
says something like, I need to text my friend, I need to text somebody, let them know I'm okay, let them know where I'm at. She might do that right in front of you. She might go to the bathroom, say, hey, I need a moment to get prepared, and then send the text out then. And if she does, the countdown has already started and you don't even know it. At this point, you're in a pretty vulnerable spot because you are totally unprepared, you are outnumbered, and you may have weapons pulled on you just to incentivize you to hand over your stuff even quicker. If there's one thing that is going to be your saving grace in a situation like this, it is that you are in one of these
A gun.
bigger properties here on the Strip, because the sheer size of it alone gives you a little bit of help, a little bit of an advantage to being able to notice if something like this is coming. These properties will oftentimes now
Coming. Orgasm joke insert here.
be checking for room keys at the elevator. So if they don't have a room key,
And I guess I wasn't at a mid-sized establishment. A lot of times I was at the Hooters Hotel, which is just off the Strip, but right there next to the Strip on Tropicana near the Strip. And it turned over to the Oyo right before COVID lockdowns happened. So I hope that hotel is still there and nice and affordable.
room key, oftentimes they cannot get by the security to go ahead and get in the elevator. Even if they can get in the elevator and they're in there with you, hopefully you would notice that something seems a little out of place. Also, if you go up to the room, say you are
Oh, you're reminding me of some footage I wish I would have grabbed for the end of this episode, where they show a guy going up to his hotel room with a hooker and she's all over him and they're looking all average. And then the elevator security camera shows her coming down just all haggard, showing that he had quite a hog on him. And that hooker was not quite prepared for such a hog.
you are going down the hallway, they came up in a separate elevator and they happen to get up there, just behind you. You're going down a really long hallway in some of these big
Getting behind me, I did not pay for pegging services. I said that I want to do the insertion. How dare you put on that belt without warning me?
properties here, and there's not a whole lot of place for people to hide if they are following you. They could try to sneak off, in front of someone else's door if you turn around, but the chance of them being able to actually do that, notice it, and time it are going to be difficult. So that long, narrow hallway you're walking down can actually help you. If you hear something, you look behind you and you see, to give you a little bit of a clue that something bad might be about to happen. The fifth and final scenario I want to talk about is the absolute worst case scenario.
But you're away from the penis buildings. You shouldn't still be talking about this. You should have lingered around the penis buildings to fit with the subject matter. And Luigi Greenberg, this guy actually has all sorts of Vegas news. I just chose the two videos that he had on strippers and prostitutes to help our buddies going to Hackamania. And this is just very up my alley of talking of strippers and prostitutes rather than all the other Vegas news. If he had one on the Pinball Museum, maybe he does, and I just didn't search far enough back in his catalog. But this is actually two topics that he doesn't hit very often. I just chose these as the videos because that's the style of this channel.
And the whole reason I'm walking down this end of the Strip is to show you the exact type of place you don't want to end up at. because it's the same situation as the two scenarios before, but this time you made the horrible decision to not go back to
Horrible. Very nice wording, sir.
your room, but to go to a room that she said you guys should go back to go to a place that she controls. Now, guys, there are no guarantees in life, but if you wind up in this situation here in Las Vegas, you're probably going to get robbed and possibly with a gun in your face. Now, if you guys remember the video I did last year about the 5
Please be a real gun. Don't be a penis.
sketchiest hotels, motels, places like that.
Yeah, here, he's got some examples of videos he actually does that don't pertain to hookers there. The sketchiest places on the Strip. Las Vegas is the most dangerous city in America. There was actually one video where he was going through the hood. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. I'm going to include this in the videos we watch, but it was quite boring when I previewed it. So these are the two I chose.
That to stay here on the Strip. Very popular video here on the channel. Several of them were down here at the south end of the Strip. Now, there are places that are going to be sketchy, shady, give you kind of a bad vibe on the Strip, off the Strip, downtown, all over the area, big cities all across the world. That's nothing new. But these are the kinds of places you exactly don't want to end up going to in this scenario. The biggest reason I say that is because you look at the logistics of a small motel like this versus one of the major casinos, hotels and casinos over.
Yeah, this guy does have some great sound, Stallion. We have heard people in their room on this show that have got worse sound than this guy has on the very busy Las Vegas Strip.
On the Strip. A lot of the things that can protect you over on the Strip and those big properties do not exist when you're at some small motel like this. Oftentimes, these motels are 1 story, maybe 2 stories. So there's no elevators. So there's no barrier to have, room keys checked. There's no
But the hotels with 1 story have the most stories to tell. Sounds like the intro to a Twilight Zone type of anthology series, doesn't it? I'll have to get
sometimes no security. There's no long hallways. There's no police on property. There might be no cameras over at a spot like this. So when you come to a place like this, it's way easier to set someone up to get robbed because they could be right here on the first floor. Somebody could be waiting around the corner for you, or you go into the room and you have absolutely no idea who is inside there waiting for you. Look, when you guys come here on vacation, you're going to make your own decisions. You can do what you want to have fun and live your life the way you want while you're here. Now, any large tourist area is going to have its fair share of scams that people try to run on tourists. Sometimes those scams just get money out of you. Sometimes they do involve a certain element of danger. But when you're here on vacation, enjoy yourself, have fun.
But remember, nothing is more dangerous than going bareback on a hooker. And what's really surprising is that here in somewhere, checking out the Skip the Games pages, there's a lot of BBBJ service offers. When I checked out the back page and Skip the Games in Vegas, very few BBBJ services. I didn't get anyone actually. Nope, didn't get anyone out of those. But I was very tempted at the pregnant service provider who did gang stuff, who did party stuff. She almost got me to call her up.
But this video was to just help you be able to be aware of some of these scams, some of the danger you could be putting yourself in because you either don't know the law or you think that something that you think is legal is actually not legal, and you want to putting yourself in a lot of danger without knowing it. So come on vacation, enjoy yourself, stay safe.
I really love coming on vacation. That is why you want to go to the less populated counties in Nevada and hit up a brothel like Eric the Midget did. He brought his 2-liter of Pepsi and
with all that being
he
said,
didn't have a 2-liter in his pants, though. Unfortunately, oh man, that would have sold so much if Eric the Midget would have gotten into porn like Jeff. Which of the Stern guys got into porn and then fell in love with the lady he did a scene with? I forget which one that was. Not Jeff the Vomit guy. Was it Will the Farter? That's who it was. Will the Farter did adult films and then he fell in love and she rolled him. She got in jail and got him to pay for it. I've got to listen back to that Stern show saga.
Said, go ahead and like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. I hope you got some value out of it. Maybe you learned something new. That's going to be it for this one. I am Jacob, and this is my life in Vegas.
Brent Hatley, of course, was a swinger, but he wasn't a hooker guy. He didn't get the professionals. He got other swingers. He went to Hedonism 2. Actually, that was on Bubba. I really didn't listen to the Stern Show once Brent made the move over there. I know him mainly from Bubba. And boy, I went from a fan of Bubba the Love Sponge to not liking him at all really quick. He had lightning in a bottle, and he could not hold on to it at all. Luigi Greenberg is an amateur magician. Learning scams is a default aspect of learning magic. I should start a channel if this is popular. Yeah, trying to find all these ways to get money without working. That is what we are looking for, as we've seen on the TikTok show with people just lifting heavy objects for tips. And I think I've figured out the monetary aspect of the points. We will get to it on, no, not tomorrow's episode, on Thursday's episode. Tomorrow, St. Cloud Divorce Show. I'll keep on doing it for a little while because it did get me a lot of viewers, but Aaron did take the fun out of goofing on his impending divorce by accepting it so quick. I did not think he would accept it so quick, but he has, and here we are. And here we are back on the strip with stripper scams after the prostitute scams. So all those going to Hackamania, pay attention.
I want you to have a good time when you're here on vacation, and this video will help keep you from getting ripped off when you go to gentlemen's clubs in Sin City.
And I actually didn't go to a strip bar when I was in Vegas. I should have. I really missed out on the strip bar. I didn't go to Puppetry of the Penis either. I missed out on both of those. I can do a few of the tricks. Anyone can do the wristwatch, unless you're small. If you can't do the wristwatch, you officially have a small pecker, and I feel bad for you. Thank you for reminding me, Luigi Greenberg, of Eric the High Pitch Eric did a scene with Cindy Crawford, not the Cindy Crawford, the adult star, and she had a complete meltdown afterwards. The Howard TV cameras were rolling as she was crying and just questioning everything that got her to that point. And I do vaguely remember John the Stutterer being in a porn movie. No, Will the Farter kept his shirt on. And John the Stutterer, he hated women. I think John the Stutterer's hatred of women is similar to that of Ray DeVito. When that nice guy Ray mask slips and you see that he is actually a lady hater, John the Stutterer was upfront with it, that he was so pissed off at the ladies that would not get with him. Whereas nice guy Ray, we believed you, Ray. But once that mask slipped, no, we don't believe you anymore. Oh, I got mixed up. Cindy Crawford breaking down was Jeff the Drunk. Boy, I wonder if there is a Pornhub compilation. I need the Stern Show sideshow acts porn compilation of Will the Farter, Jeff the Drunk, High Pitch. That's right, High Pitch Eric couldn't finish. I believe he lost his virginity on a porn set, and it does make sense. There is a whole crew around you. There's like a couple of dozen people around Eric the Midget during his High Pitch Eric during his first sexual experience. So it does make sense that the wiener was like, nope, can't do it. King Yeti, Ray looks like Howdy Doody came to life and his mom hated him. I agree.
The first three scams.
I try to add to the comments, but sometimes I just have to point out the funny ones and move on. The
scams we're talking about all happen on the main floor of the club. The rest of them happen when you go inside the VIP room. I'm filming this video just west of the Las Vegas Strip, where you can find many of the strip clubs in this town in a small area. But I'm not making any specific correlation between any club you may see in the background and what you're about to hear in this video. Number one, sit on a guy's lap and then say it was a dance. This is one of the most common ones that...
That is a scam. Just a simple sit. Like, if it's not a private dance, then I call shenanigans on it being an actual dance.
Strippers try to pull. She comes over, sits on your lap for a song.
I was trying to get her to pull something else.
Or two, and then turns around.
I've been good at not using that Chip Chipperson crutch, but he is really coming out on today's episode.
And says you owe her for dancing. Well, guess what? If she didn't give a lap dance during that time, then there is no money to be collected. The reason a stripper does this scam and the next one I'm about to share with you is because she knows that if she just does it enough times, there will be guys who get scared or they get nervous about the situation and they give her $20 or $40 or however.
The Boomhauer strategy. Just pull the scam on as many guys as possible, and some guys will fall for the scam.
Much money she says they owe her because they think it's their best way to get out of the situation. 2, dance for a guy without collecting the money and then go complain to a host about payments. Any decent club will tell the strippers you need to get paid for your dances on the floor up front so you can avoid a scenario just like this. If she threatens to go get a host,
that Photoshop really makes me laugh. Angry on the pole. And that is they cannot hide their distaste for what they're doing. Some can hide their distaste for what they're doing, but some do have this face while on the pole.
Security guard, a manager, understand this. They cannot force you to pay. The most I ever dealt with at one time was one stripper who came to me and told me that she did 8 dances in a row for a guy. Yes, 8. And then came and told me that he needed to pay her for all 8. In a situation like this.
Oh, and we did miss a little bit of his backstory as I fast forwarded. This guy does have a history in Vegas nightlife, including being a employee at strip clubs. So that's what he's talking about, being an employee at a strip club and a stripper coming up. He didn't pay for 8 dances. So he's like, sounds like you're running a scam.
You may be a little bit nervous when you see a man in a suit come over to talk to you about the whole thing, but I'll tell you what it's like to be on the other side of it. First,
sounds like Spurgsnake might be a fan of the Bloodhound Gang song. It's so much better when the stripper is crying. Fun song.
I asked her why she did a dance without getting paid up front first, which there is never a good answer. And then there's definitely not a good answer for doing multiple dances without getting paid. Next, I tell her,
there you go. That's what the Bloodhound Gang likes. That was a little bit of sweaty, but the tears are right behind that.
I will talk to the guy, but if he does not want to pay, there's absolutely nothing I can do. Some strippers will give up and drop it right there because they feel it's not really worth the hassle. If I did talk to the customer about the situation, the conversation typically went.
True. These stripper scams are everywhere, but being that there are a lot of rubes coming to Vegas, this is proper for Vegas specifically, as well as your hometown. As I mentioned, I had a great experience going to the local strip club for the first time recently. The stripper, while the pit boss wasn't looking, was like, feel my titties. And as Luigi Greenberg pointed out, that sounds like science fiction. I was thinking that it was legal in this state for a little bit, but then, yeah, after Luigi Greenberg pointing out touching a stripper sounds like science fiction. Yeah, she was just trying to roll me for some more money, and she put in her time to roll me for the money. Thickums did come up to me as soon as I came in. Hey, come over here. Ooh, pinball. Because, of course, autistic me was like, you've got pinball machines. Let's play pinball. And she was rubbing up on me, and I never got the multi-ball because she got the blood to the wiener instead of to the head where it belongs to get a multi-ball. Played some pool, and then she was like, private dance. I was like, yes. You have put in your time and you have earned a private dance. And she was trying to get more money out of me. So thank you for the titty touching, but I am a nerd on a budget.
It went like this. Hello, sir. The entertainer over here said she did some dances for you. Not really. She just came over on her own and just started dancing. And now she's telling me that I have to pay her for these dances that I never wanted. I understand. I can't make you pay anything, but would you like to give her a tip of any kind? No, thanks. I really just want her to go away. You got it, man. Thanks for coming on in. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. I then go back to the stripper and tell her he didn't want to pay, and he said never talk to them again. 3, you ask a stripper to bring back change for a large bill, and then she disappears. One night, I was walking the floor.
You fool. Opposite for me, Nimrod. Both in West Virginia and West Virginia, Baltimore, and here in somewhere, the stripper has always gotten the money up front for the lap dance, for the private dance. Opposite for Nimrod, who asks for, who it's very rare for them to ask for the money up front. Opposite of my stripper experience.
The customer flagged me down and told me that he had gotten 2 dances from one of the strippers on the main floor. He owed her $40 for the 2 dances, but he only had a $100 bill on him at the time. So he gave her the $100 bill and said, hey, just bring me back $50 and change. She never came back. I asked him how long he had been waiting for her to come back. He said about 20 minutes. My response was that there's a really good chance that she left 19 minutes ago. And unfortunately,
and there is our buddy Ronnie the limo driver's former favorite place. When I see Scores, I think of Scores, man. Forget about this wives shit. Let's fuck some whores. And then he turned into Scores Man. Sounded like a fun nickname, but Ricky's Cabaret, when he became Ricky Man, it wasn't as good. Cabaret Man maybe, but Ricky Man just didn't flow as well as Scores Man did. But I imagine we can find Ronnie the limo driver, who now lives out in Las Vegas, there at that Scores and many of the places that our new buddy Jacob is passing by here. I know, Ari Jane, what is this world coming to when you can't trust strippers? Those were people that I put all my trust in for so long, and now not so much.
Fortunately for him, he could not give a very description of the stripper that he got the dances from. He could not even remember her stage name, and that's assuming she even gave him her real stage name that the club actually has in the system. Now we move on to the scams that happen inside the VIP.
Very smart. Don't give him your real name. Don't even give him your stage name. You're running a scam. You want to keep this job at the strip club, and there are a bunch of ladies on the floor, so give him a phony stage name as well. King Yeti with a nice little what scenario here. I was a male meth whore. Broads would just come up to my house, get me high as an astronaut is fart, and then let me bone their brains out. It was pretty awesome. So that is, drug dealers do have that nice little discount that they can offer their female customers when they don't feel like leaving the house for some poon of like, all right, you can have this line for free. Well, not for free. The charge is my pekka inside you.
VIP room. 4, remember, prostitution is not legal in Las Vegas or anywhere in Clark County. 5, the stripper tag team pickpocket. This is where two...
And we already heard this story about the hooker tag team pickpocket, where jiggly boobies or a badonkadonk in front of you to hypnotize you and then take your wallet from the back. And good for King Yeti for having to get clean off the drugs. Can't run that scam anymore, but being clean does need to happen. I'm about 6 months off the weed, and I know you're looking at me like the group, like Bob Saget in Half Baked. You bragging about quitting some marijuana? I guess I am.
2 strippers tag team you, but not in the way you might be hoping for. This happened once at a place where I worked at, where a guy came into the VIP room with 2 strippers. During the dancing, one stripper put her boobs in his face to distract him so the other one could pick his pockets. These 2 did get caught because the customer noticed it quickly. If you don't notice it though until you've left the club, then it becomes a whole lot more difficult to do something to get it resolved. 6, going to the VIP room and taking a bathroom break, and the stripper steals cash or watch that you left out on your table at your booth.
Well, you just deserve to have your shit stolen if you leave it out like that. It's like when you go to a gangbang, you leave your wallet in the car. There is no reason to bring your wallet inside the gangbang beyond the fee of, and it is a lower fee. Single guys going into a gangbang cost more money than a guy and a lady, because at least that's my experience. Ladies free, guys charge. Guy and a lady, less of a charge than single guys, because they knew how to run that gangbang.
Especially if a guy has been up in the room for multiple hours in the VIP. He's been drinking throughout that time, and since he's been up there for so long, it's easier for things to slip his mind that when he came into the room, he actually had more cash than he realized, or he forgot that he had his watch on, or something like that. And if you don't notice until you get back to your hotel room, then your stuff is just about gone. 7, taking a picture of
These are coming rapid fire. He is wasting no time. He kind of got off on tangents there in the hooker video, but he is hitting us boom, boom, boom. Here are the scams that we can get through. I do miss the THC. And since I've gone too far and have these THC cups forever, I have to get the rock breast reduction surgery before I take my shirt off. And you all point and laugh like we all do at Aaron Imholt. Damn you, man boobies. Turn into pecs. Yeah, I should start doing some push-ups to turn the man boobies into pecs. Hopefully, maybe that'll work. But thank you, Ari Jane, for the compliments.
Of your credit card. Please do not hand your credit card to a stripper at the club. They don't run transactions. The staff runs the transactions. I saw a stripper do this one time in a VIP room booth. When I questioned her about it, her reply was that she needed to make sure that
Is that a Sopranos lady clip art? That looks like Tony Soprano's Gumar. He had a lot of strippers to choose from, but I'm pretty sure that's Tony Soprano's Gumar.
She got paid for her time. I responded to her that the staff is here to help with that if there's any issue when it comes to payments. I let the host running the room know what happened, and he handled it from there. But guys, please do not give your credit card to one of the strippers. 8, lying about VIP room prices to you. Oh man, I saw this one numerous times working at the entrance of the VIP room. There will typically be someone there to check you in. It could be a host, it could be a manager, it could be a waitress. That is when the host will go over how much it's going to cost for your time in the room to pay the stripper and what the bar minimum will be. Let's say you go into a VIP room and you want to do half an hour.
Wait, is that a strip club called the Library behind him?
What the bar
As I
minimum
mentioned, I didn't check out the strip clubs in Vegas, so I'm unfamiliar with them.
will be. Let's say you go
The Library, I think that is a strip club called the Library. It's one of those things I've seen bars do where they call themselves the office. So when your wife calls and asks you where you are and you say the office, they're not lying. Or like the College Town bars that name all their mixed drinks after books that you would buy. So when you have the receipt, you show them your parents or whoever saying, how dare you, that it has the name that looks like you're buying books and all the shots that are plausible book names. I like that. So the Library, Hackamania fans, you can go to the Library and see some boobies. My extra weed? I don't have any extra weed right now, Ari Jane, but I would like a bag. I need to find a new guy.
Go into a VIP room and you want to do half an hour. It might be an $80 bar tab, and it might be $260 for the stripper. What I had seen...
extra boobs. I would love to donate my extra boobs to you. We'll get some amateur surgery where we hook a tube up to my man boobies, hook it up to your lady boobies, and I think it'll be a lot like siphoning gas out of a car, where all we need to do is give it a little boom. That's how booby fat works, right?
Several strippers tried to do was round up the price for the time to $300 so that they could get more money out of the customer. Now, be aware, there has been a transition in recent years in Las Vegas to allow the strippers to negotiate all of their dance prices with the customers before doing any dances. If you ever have to ask about prices in a Vegas strip club, you're a lot better off asking a host, who will usually be wearing a suit, or a waitress, because they are W-2 employees. And if they lie or they do something that causes them to get fired, then they have to go ahead and take the time to try to find another job. That could take them weeks, that could take them months.
Or they can just go to Backpage and skip the games and bam, new job immediately. Of course, that's not a W-2 type of job.
Strippers, on the other hand, are in.
And without showing my moves, I do have plausible deniability that I'm saying it for the gag and they don't actually exist. Unlike Aaron, where he has, why would you do that? Why would you rip your shirt off multiple times and show the world that you have the moves? Yeah, I need to do something about these. Or is it a gag?
Independent contractors, and many of them are contracted at multiple clubs here in town. So if a stripper does something shady and she gets her contract terminated, She can literally drive right down the road to another club where she's contracted at, go in there, check in, get dressed, and in 20 minutes, she's out there on the floor making money right after she just ripped you off in the club where you were at. 9. The prostitution setup. This is when you've agreed to pay a stripper to...
I think this is behind the weed shop. I think he's behind Reef. That's where you can go and pick up your pot. They have several locations, Reef. I forget if I went anywhere else. My buddy recommended Reef, but another tip for you Hackamania fans out there, Reef is where you go for your pots. And they don't sell THC on the strip. They sell, what is it, CBD on the strip. That's one of the things, the weird laws they have. No legal hookers in populated areas, no THC on the strip, the most populated area. So you got to go off the strip in order to get your THC. Your lame-ass CBD products are right there on the strip.
To come back to your hotel room to have sex with her. She may say she'll meet you at your room if you give her $500 now, $1,000 now, and give her the other half the money once she gets to the room. I have seen this one more than once, with one particular situation that stands out in my mind with an elderly gentleman who was carrying an oxygen tank, who was waiting around the front entrance of the club for a while before he came up to me and asked if this is where the strippers leave the building. I told him that it is not where the strippers exit the building, and he told me that one stripper said if he gave her $1,000 up front, that she would come back to his hotel room to have sex with him, and that's when he would give her the other $1,000.
That is too high. She better be a high-class whore for
$2,000 back at the room. And unfortunately, I had to be the one to tell an elderly man carrying an oxygen tank that he just got scammed out of $1,000, and there was nothing we could do about it. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. You can save money by not getting scammed here on your vacation in Las Vegas.
So that was some tips from Jacob Lives in Vegas, Jacob's Life in Vegas, letting us know about hookers and strippers who are ready to roll you, but not with ecstasy. So watch out for those scammers in the sex industry. Not like those, what was it Patrice O'Neal went to? The Philippines, Brazil? It was somewhere in South America that Patrice O'Neal very much recommended these hookers. And I'll have to go back to those videos. If you can afford to go down there for vacation, that is your hooker haven. Patrice had so much to say, nice to say about those South American hookers, which he got. He did not have nice things to say about the American prostitutes. Nimrod says, always tell the girl you want one dance. You have the girls that give you the lap dance and then tell you you've been there for 4 songs. If you want more than one, yeah, Nimrod is, you're having a different experience where a lot of us have paid for the dance up front. I paid for the one song up front, and then when we got out of the song, she was like, more songs? So yeah, very much more easy to roll a strip club patron where Nimrod is going versus where Spurg Snake and I have been going for our stripper needs. And yeah, as I said, it's been years since I went to a strip club. And very nice experience. I will Thickums, if she is there again, for allowing to feel up the boobies, she will probably get a private dance from me rather than Fit and Tattooed, because, oh boy, am I a fan of Fit and Tattooed. Actually, I have a date coming up with a combination of both of those, chubby and tattooed and pierced and forked tongue. So hooray! I am a fan of the alternative gals. Ari Jane asks, what happened to honest old-fashioned gal that just paying her way through nursing school? Well, that nursing gal, as we know, nurses are some of the most prolific serial killers that have ever been around. So that might be the same nice little girl working their way through the through the strip club, who are nice up front, but will inject arsenic on the back end. Ooh, King Yeti has a tip. You can buy pussy in Cuba for a 6-pack Hanes white teas. Oh, a 6-pack of Hanes white teas. I was thinking that was two different things. All right. Here's a few t-shirts, and let me ruin the t-shirt that you're in. You're in. Fuck yeah, Chippa. Last date that I was talking about was 100 miles away as I was meeting the polyamorous lady for a second date and meeting her husband. And my fucking car broke down 100 miles away, and they were nice enough to let me stay in their house. It was just very awkward. Most of the polyamorous relationships I've been in, usually I don't meet the partner until much later, and it is, but yeah, very much interacting with the brother husband there was very awkward, different than what I am used to there in the being with someone with multiple partners. So yeah, went well, and my fucking car broke down 100 miles away from home, and they were nice enough to let me stay in their house. And thank you, Firestone, for getting that fixed real fucking quick. I thought I was going to have to pay a lot. It was the alternator. So yeah, it went. It was mostly just meeting the brother husband. She was cucking us both. She was on her phone most of the time with yet another guy. So I was a bit turned off by that, of like, hey, I'm here. I traveled a long way to meet you, and you're on your phone chatting with this other dude that you're looking to get going. Could you put that on hold? So the brother husband was fine, but yeah, disappointed in seeing the lady, because we hit it off very well on the first date, in which we met in between. We each of us drove 50 miles, but the second date, where like she wasn't present for most of it, she was cucking both of us with a guy that wasn't even there. That was disappointing. And so middle of the road, thumbs in the middle on that date. And that was the end of our first segment of Jacob Life in Vegas. And here, our next segment is Lady Clowns in Vegas. You can check out Ghostlight Odyssey. Yes, they have a company, and I don't know exactly what they do, but they have Lady Clowns there that do stuff there in Vegas. They are going to take us on a little bit of a tour of what you can do in Vegas. So some more tips for you Hackamania folks.
The fun police and I are in Japan. Just kidding, close though. We're actually at Gay Desk Arcade here in Las Vegas. Officer Sugar and Officer Spice got a head start, so I came in looking for them. I found them driving around in this bus, so they came and picked me up. Now, let's go check this place out together.
Officer Sugar and Officer Spice are very hot, but it's Nurse Kaboom there, who I am the biggest fan of. And there's an infrequent clown lady who is a firefighter. And then Flimsy Mimsy is not attractive at all. It's part of her lady clown persona to not be attractive. I've actually seen Flimsy Mimsy without her makeup, and she's an attractive lady, but she did not go with the sexy clown persona as all of her other clown friends went with. She went with a more silly one.
This place isn't just any gaming center. It offers a wide ranging mix of your favorite American classics and Japanese arcade games. And they also regularly update the arcade floor to keep things fresh and exciting. I have to say, the arcade games imported from Japan may have been our personal favorites. I mean, look at this thing. It was like a 4D ride. Of course, you can also never go wrong with the American classics. Officer Spice was killing it. Speaking of...
So this is some place that I actually might not go, because I'm going to the Pinball Museum. I spent one night on the Strip with roulette and such, and multiple nights. And now that it's on the Strip, you don't even need to go far. Well, when it was down Tropicana, it wasn't far. But I hear they have got a nice big complex, and they have a 3D pinball machine where you're moving it up vertically. I think there's only one of 6 in the world. So it's a really fun experience getting to play with that vertical pinball machine. You are absolutely correct, Luigi Greenberg. Cucking us both and not being present is an upgrade from shitting her pants like my other date did. That was an instant, sorry, no second date. This is too awkward, the fact that you shit your pants. And Ari Jane did have a follow-up question asking, is it easier when you don't know them as people you'd hang with? It's just awkward for the most part. like I'm still getting to know her. I met her once, and then I'm meeting her partner. The times I did meet the primary partner, like it was a bit further along, in which we already knew each other and had a rapport with one another. So it was just awkward meeting someone and getting to know the brother husband before I really know too much about the lady.
Speaking of American classics, we also had to take on a game of Twister. Sorry, but I can't take off the hoop stickers. Oh yeah, and I lost. We had so much fun here, and we can't wait to come back for more. This is definitely recommended for parties, dates, and just any occasion if you're looking to have some fun. Overall, we rate it a 10 out of 10. This message has been approved by the GTA, the Glowtunes Association.
So 10 out of 10 on that arcade from the Fun Police. And ooh, who is this lady? She looks nice and gothy, but blonde. I'll have to get to that video. But we are still on the Fun Police, who have some more reviews and things you can do around town. King Yeti has some experience with nurses. I believe that Nurse Kaboom is a 100% switch. Judging by the videos we've seen from her, she and Electra seem to be both tops and bottoms, as Electra's results have proven, and as Nurse Kaboom's videos have shown. She is quite the freak. Most of them love anal, just don't get into a relationship with one. Oh, and the nurse's outfit, like, that's become as hot as the schoolgirl outfit.
Today, we tell the mysterious story of Officer Spice's sudden disappearance. It is rumored that she was sucked into the world of Scott Pilgrim, so Nurse Kaboom and I set out on a top-secret mission to save our friend. Our first...
The comics sucked her in after she sucked off Scott Pilgrim. That joke sucks. I don't think we need Duke Phillips for that. The joke was there. It just sucked.
Instinct was to check out alternate reality comics here in Henderson. And inside was a marvelous world of alternate realities indeed. We searched far and wide, and Nurse Kaboom got a little distracted as she came across the manga section.
Of course, Nurse Kaboom likes the manga section. Nimrob giving a recommendation for the Luxor game room. I remember the MGM Grand having a game room. Nothing really came to my attention because I'm an old school video gamer with the arcades. I love Q*bert until I actually play Q*bert, and remember, I fucking hate Q*bert.
I'm so sorry, Officer Spice. I was really looking for you, but I didn't realize that I was really looking for the Ice Cream Man. And, even better, the adult comic book section. Oh yeah. We went through all the back issues of Marvel.
I'm surprised that it was Officer Sugar into the adult section. I figured that once again it would be Nurse Kaboom, but Nurse Kaboom got sucked in by the manga section, whereas Officer Spice got literally sucked in to the Scott Pilgrim novel. And I have quite the effect on women. I do prefer to get the squirt effect rather than the shit effect, but you take what you can get, I suppose. And Spurgsnake, ever since Arlie Ermy reacted to the Steel Toe Morning Show, I have the effect on him on what the fuck is that? And that is still on the board. That will stay on the board. I haven't really been doing drops. Like, I think I need a producer in order to be on the drops, because I've been focusing more on chat, and I can really do one or the other with the drops or the comments. But both is a little bit difficult. But yes, that is still on the board. Let's drop that one more time of Arlie Ermy. And here's what he thought of the new Steel Toe Morning Show set.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that?
And that's the same reaction that Arlie Ermy gave me until he saw my set and the Steel Toe Morning Show set back to back, in which case he changed his opinion of me to this.
Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister.
I didn't know that Q*bert was a lady game. That does go along with me being half a bundle of sticks. That explains why I kind of like Q*bert at times, but then immediately start hating him. That goes along with the fact that I am a half a bundle of sticks.
Where they had $1 comics. And once we made our way back around, we finally found Officer Spice. And so we pulled her out of the Scott Pilgrim book and saved her once and for all. Overall,
Hooray! Officer Spice is my second favorite behind Nurse Kaboom. Sorry, Officer Sugar, you are a very attractive lady, but you come in 3 out of 3 when comparing you to Nurse Kaboom and Officer Spice.
we rate this place a 10 out of 10. We saved Officer Spice, got some comics, and we had a great time. This message has been approved by the GTA, the Glow Twins Association.
Info at ghostlightodyssey.com. Book now for your clown party. I'm going to have to book me a clown party next time I go to Vegas, which I hope I have enough time, paid time off by the end of the year to do a Los Angeles and Las Vegas trip for a week. I would like to hit both of those up, and I don't have enough paid time off to do that yet. Have fun at Hackamania. It was Tampa or Vegas for me, and I chose WATP Live in Tampa. God, I love me some Tampa. I've got to go there again more often. I agree with you, Nimrob. Dig Dug, superior to Qbert. I really like Tapper. Tapper, I always have to get in when I'm somewhere with Tapper. And what I found much later is Tapper had a sequel, same type of controls, but you're not serving drinks. You're chopping trees down as a lumberjack. So kind of also equal. It's superior in some ways, but something about Tapper I enjoy more than the lumberjack version of Tapper. These girls got it, aka Nurse Joy, Nurse, and Officer Jenny Simps are on it. Ooh, the Pokemon. Yeah, they do have that Pokemon aesthetic to them. I forgot about Nurse Joy. How could I forget about Nurse Joy? So a lot of videos from the Ghostlight Odyssey people do have copyrighted music on it, and I'm trying to keep these episodes DMCA free. So here we have a lot of their videos being turned on silent after UMG removed their music, and this is what it sounds like when all their videos no longer have music and they have to replace it with something. I think it works. I think that should be your go-to, and I am curious what's happening with this goth lady working at Wendy's here, so we're going to check that out.
What color is my shirt?
Tienes una camisa roja y una pinche cabezota.
Oh no.
Well, that was disappointing, but I wanted to check that out because Goth Wendy's girl got my attention, and that was the episode for today. Did I have another? I thought I had one more Ghostlight Odyssey. Well, it's somewhere. That'll be on the pile to check them out again one day. And I do need to go through and find some more Clown Lady videos. I am at the end of what I have accumulated. So, yeah, better that I save that for another time because I am starting to run short on my Clown Lady videos. So thanks to Jacob Life in Vegas for all those tips on strippers and hookers, and he did have a lot of other tips on other subjects, but I felt those were the most important things to get to. So hopefully it's you can get some more tips from Ronnie the limo driver in town. Actually, I'm surprised. There have been some more names added to Hackamania. I wonder if No One Likes Onions Melton or Carl has reached out to Ronnie, because Ronnie the limo driver would help sell some tickets. Just ask the hack over at the hack work. I don't even like saying his name anymore. That Shuley fellow who used Richard, Sal, Ronnie, and everyone else to sell tickets and then tried to scam them out of money. How is Carl not turned on him? He is Stuttering John. He is literally Stuttering John. He is not a real stand-up comedian. He put in some more time, but no, I don't want to go down that road. I don't like that guy. I did some detractor shows calling him a shithead, and let's just be done with him. Because even though that it's been a year, I have gone 12 months rather than 3 months of watching the Shuley channel, and yeah, I'm just done with him. Even though I did have on paper about 9 episodes total as an outline of Stuttering John's Shuley Detractor Show, I was just done. I yelled at the internet for an hour about this. shithead, and I was done. And we're moving on to different subjects, as we are tomorrow, moving on to the Steel Toe Morning Show, because Imholt season is in. Disappointed that he accepted that his divorce is happening so quick. That was kind of the fun thing about the St. Cloud divorce show, was that Aaron was in denial about it. But that will be tomorrow with my co-host Spurg Snake, TikTok Around the Clock on Thursday, where we will have, I actually forget what we have. I've been editing 2 episodes in a row, and I forget what's where. But some musical performance, some sexy ladies doing next to nothing for money versus these strippers who are rolling you for money. And a little bit of a shill segment before we get out of here, where I ask you to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to remind you that I go live Tuesdays through Thursdays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And next week, I think I have to take a week off from the Successful Failure show. I'm really, I need to hire an assistant or something to help me pull some clips. I am just bogged down in all sorts of show prep that is taking up more time than I meant it to here on this hobby. Another reason why I would like to go part-time. But thank you for chatting. When you comment, that also helps when the video is over with. And what is this game? There was a special presentation over on the Remember the 90s channel, and we will be coming back. We'll be coming back with an indie game. I would like to stick to those, as I am bogging myself down with a lot of show prep. And yeah, I need to go to 4 days a week at work once I save up enough money to justify that. I have a Discord over there where we can talk nonsense. And maybe I need to reach out to someone for a Chatting with Beloved Chatters episode for next week, so I can give myself a little bit of a break from pulling clips for just a little bit, and then I can get right back up to it. Hopefully, accumulate a little more. Luigi Greenberg pointing out that Carl says it's a lot of work, and he's starting to agree. Yeah, if I was part-time, I wouldn't feel so bogged down. Having one more extra day to watch, accumulate, pull clips, it would help out a lot. And another reason that I like these co-host auditions, this is a reaction style. There's a lot of prep that goes into the shows where I pull clips, but the reaction style, I just preview for a little bit, say yay or nay on if it would be a good concept. But yeah, the pulling clips, I need to be part-time to really help out on the bogged downness I'm feeling. Thank you for your help as a co-host, Spurg Snake, and I think I might want to do a Chatting with episode. I will reach out to a few people for next week and take a week off so I can accumulate clips for an extra week before it's like stand-up comedy of building up your material. Then once you show it, it's dead. You build up these clips, and then once you show it, it's dead. What am I going to show the same clips next week? No. And if you would like to be one of the chatters that I chat with on Chatting with Beloved Chatters, chatting with stand-up comedians, chatting with internet personalities, there is my email, dillonfromsomewhere@gmail.com. And I think that is all for this week. Luigi Greenberg was talking about not the it's a work, the Imholt divorce. I would be surprised. I would be surprised. Like if it is a work, well done on actually working the audience for once instead of being a fool. Once again, Aaron, if that is true, I have a hard time believing it. I think Aaron is that stupid that he's handling it this poorly. So, we will get into some of that tomorrow on the St. Cloud Divorce Show. And once again, thank you all for joining. And once I find my outro video here amongst the clips, I can tell you that you can feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo.
Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right to your honey with the right and left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.